Hello. Wednesday, the day of for streaming. This is the day. The Wednesday is the day for streaming, and we're all here. I'm here. I don't know if anybody's here. I made a point after the first couple of streams that I did, never to like use the app over here to see how many viewers are in here. Because I'm not. This is a quality over quantity show when it comes from a viewer's standpoint. It's a lot more about the who than the how many. And so I learned very early on not to take a look at what the numbers were, because sometimes we dip down. Sometimes we dip down to one. There's been times where it's been zero. And so I just know not to look and to just enjoy it. And to stream. So yes, Wednesday is the day that we stream. Wednesday is for the streams, and we're here on the stream. I got like a thing with my eye right now. I don't know if it's an allergy thing or just aging. That's an option too. I'm in my, we'll say, 30s or 40s, and as somebody in their first half of life, I think we still get to say first half of life. You do start noticing some things about your body that change. Everybody knows the changes one goes through in their teens, but those changes change as you become an adult, and you start to get things like one eye that closes a little bit more than the other, and allergies to foods and wines that you never would have expected to have before. Who knew that having 2 glasses of wine last night at dinner would lead me to feeling like I had gotten shot in the head by a rubber bullet. It's quite a feeling to wake up at 7 in the morning after having 2 glasses of wine at dinner at 6 in the evening, and going like, boy, something hit me. But anyway, I actually think this is an allergy thing right now. So just pretend it looks cool, pretend it looks good, pretend I look good. That's really what this is all about. Pretend I look good. Happy birthday, Ryu, from Flashback 64. That is right. Happy birthday, Ryu, to you. Lots of happy birthday Ryus. Tomorrow is happy birthday Ryu to my younger daughter, which is crazy. She is turning 7. So Ryu has got about 6 decades on her, but happy birthday Ryu to her. That's kind of crazy. Now both of my kids are in the grades. They're not. No one's in kindergarten anymore. No one's in TK. No one's in preschool. Everybody's in the grades. So I have 2 children, one who's in 4th grade and one who's in 1st grade, which is crazy. So happy birthday, Ryu, to them, and happy birthday to any and all children out there. I don't know. I don't like this. I don't really understand what that is. But happy birthday to anybody who's got a birthday or knows somebody with a birthday. Happy birthday, Ryu, to everybody. So I'm going to. I just got a picture on my phone of Gavin, or on my watch of Gavin Newsom. Presumably he's texting me. I wish he wouldn't. Anyway, congratulations. It is the official birthdays. Birthdays with Spindrift. I'm going to keep trying this bit. Birthdays with Spindrift, the official drink of birthdays. They signed a contract recently with birthdays, and so if you have a birthday, you have to drink Spindrifts. Gavin Newsom, question mark, Flashback 64 pod asks, interesting. It is interesting. It's so interesting to be receiving like 5 or 6 fundraising emails from Gavin Newsom per day. I know the neighborhood he bought a home in over in Marin County. He doesn't need my money. So Gavin, stop asking, is what I'd say. But you know what? You know what we will do? I'm not going to donate right now, Gavin, but I will donate my time to some video game manuals today, both for the Sega Dreamcast. Let's just dive right in. Why not? It is. I have a hard stop. This is it. We love to talk about hard stops when we're just having fun, when we're just enjoying a nice conversation, a nice stream. I love to say that I have a hard stop. So we can sync up later about this, but I have a hard stop just before 1 because I do have a meeting right after. So let's go ahead and dive right in to the thing. I was going to talk briefly about the chats that got leaked from the young Republicans, just because I think it's important to call out when something like that is happening. The wolves among us. Anyway, I will just say briefly that yes, a bunch of young Republicans got busted being their true selves, which is to say, unbelievably racist to each other and hate-filled. So if you are familiar with any young Republicans in your life, I think both try to see if you can stop them from being that, and then if not, cut them out of your life completely. I think the only thing that they truly fear is being completely excised from polite society. So go ahead and do it. And Spindrift agrees. Spindrift, the official sparkling water of excising young Republicans from polite society. I'm sure they'd be happy about that one. So let's take a look at some games. First, we're going to we're going to watch a little gameplay from the Sega Dreamcast game Armada, which is from 1999. Now, Armada is one of those games that I think a lot of people played because for a long time during the Dreamcast life, it was pretty darn cheap. And you could find it at Best Buy for like... Armada was in the same kind of space that... What was that game called? Incoming was on the Sega Dreamcast, which is to say $11 or $12 for a bunch of years. So Armada, though, better game than Incoming as far as I'm concerned. Let's take a little look at some Armada on the Sega Dreamcast. Unfortunately, this is a European Dreamcast. This is blue line. The Dreamcast logo looks like dust mite feces. Just take a look it up. I think that they kind of have like the little squiggly things. Turn that up.
We received the first proof of something out there.
Can't hardly hear it.
Something not us.
I hope we get that ad too. Armada.
Some would say it's a Golden Age of cooperation, but the price of
Golden Age of cooperation. Here we go. Here's the game. Yeah, so that's Armada. That's Armada. I think it's a neat game. I don't think it's my favorite game. I think it's neat enough. But because in the interest of time, because of my hard stop, the Spindrift hard stop of the week, I'm really just very thirsty. So I keep having excuses to get to pitch Spindrift on this brand partnership. Flashback 64 pod notes. I hope we get that ad for the drink that makes you poop. I hope so too. That was incredible. So far, there's no ads on either of the video as far as I can tell. What if we do this actually real quick? Before we go into the manual, we're going to see if there's an ad at the end of the video. How about that? Come on. Let's see. Come on. Nope. What about is there going to be an ad between this?
Don't just see a place, taste it with the locals that know it best. Big Pastries in Paris.
Boring. Screw you, ad. Let's look at Armada for the Dreamcast. So Armada for the Dreamcast has quite a manual going on for it. I was looking at the other day and I was like, all right, let's go for it. So Sega Dreamcast, very cool stuff. Of course, an earlier Dreamcast entry, which gives it the much nicer white side, which I appreciate. I mean, like, listen, when we look at Dreamcast games, I think there's no comparison. How much prettier... Okay, wait, this is all backwards. Okay, there we go. There, huh? Or there. Let's be real. This is way cooler than this. That's my feeling. So, that's my hot take of the week. That one's not sponsored by Spindrift. They're not going to touch that with a 30-foot pole. The white ones are better. So let's read about it. What is Armada? The story so far: star bases, allied races. And that was cool, Ryan. What is Armada? The story so far: star bases, allied races. Know your controller. Getting started. Create a character. They don't continue with the cool flow, but Armada is a 4-player action game built for the Sega Dreamcast system. Players are encouraged to use the VMU, the Visual Memory Unit, to store their character and save game information. It's important to note. I had a friend who was really into this game for a while, in part because it was 4 players. It wasn't the best 4-player mode, but it was okay. Long ago. Oh no. It's not going to be one of those shows. Long ago, I'm going to power through it. Long ago, our ancestors departed from planet Earth and traveled to the stars. We knew that if we remained on Earth, the universe would eventually send an asteroid our way. We needed to spread out into space. After 10,000 years of survival and evolution in alien environments, a multitude of diverse human variations emerged. We adapted to life on countless worlds and harnessed unprecedented powers of matter and energy. But the sum of human knowledge lay scattered about the universe. Despite all our achievements, we could not share our unique understanding with one another. In this time of separation, a massive biomechanical armada took notice of the Earth-born tribes and engaged humanity in centuries of unrelenting warfare. We could not communicate with the armada, and we did not know what crime we had committed that would cause these aliens to seek our destruction. The Armada consumed worlds and ended civilizations with cruel efficiency. But that's not how we say cruel. With cruel efficiency. But 6 of the Earthborn tribes survived to form Allied Command. When the 6 races formed the Alliance, many separate traditions came together to create a stronger unity. Diversity is a strength. We were able to save our civilization on a single world, and together we developed the technology to defend ourselves from the aggression of the Armada. You are born to an era of hope and reunification. Not true for us. Not true in 2025. As the captain of a starship, your growth and your triumphs champion the cause of all the tribes in our war against the Armada. One way or another, your goal is to survive the attack of Armada and win the freedom of our people either by destroying the Armada or establishing communication with it. Good luck. So we got some star bases. It's a huge space station inhabited by one of the Allied races. The star bases provide a defensive perimeter around Allied City and give you a place to rest. Journey to the star bases and trade technology with them just to increase your power. That's cool. There's some coordinates, which I like, and we're about to read about the different groups of folks in there. I got a first-time chat from somebody who's clearly real in here. Cardboard Wire Tap 0O. It is a cool username. Best viewers. Fantastic. Best viewers. Yes, thank you so much for telling me about the best viewers. I've got the best viewers right here. Even if it's just a few of us, I've got the best viewers. Flashback 64 can vibe with this game. I agree. I actually think this is pretty cool. We're going to read first about the Terrans. Let's zoom in a little bit because I think the Terrans have some good. I don't know if the pictures are any good, but there's some pictures. That's probably better, right? The Terrans remained on Earth until the Great Armada invasion of 4057. I'm going to be honest, not so sure we're going to be hanging on the Earth until the year 4057. But Godspeed to the Terrans. Biosphere colony ships set course for the Nomads' last known location, the Nexus system. Many generations of Terrans lived and died during the centuries-long journey, but Terran engineering and ingenuity kept the travelers alive. The struggle for survival forged the previously decadent Earth dwellers into a society of rugged and forthright frontier explorers. Today, Terran military technology is second only to Nomad hardware in terms of power, and is without equal in the domain of precision engineering and overall sturdiness. You got the Nomads, all right? The Terrans love their rapid fire, their bonus armor, and their twin homing rockets. Nomads boarded the first sleeper ship to be launched from Earth 10,000 standard years ago. They sought to escape a life of mistreatment as space miners, soldiers, and servants. The Nomads choose not to live terrestrially because they were genetically engineered to survive in zero-G environments at low pressure. Earth-dwelling Terrans feared them, for Nomads appear brutish, and their bodies continually twitch and flex. Yeah, like the pulsing of a heart muscle. I don't know, man. They sound gross to me, too. I'm sorry to be a judgmental jerk about this, but the Nomads and their little twitchy bodies sound kind of gross. They've all got a bad case of myoclonus, unfortunately. Since the nomads do not live on the worlds they exploit, they tend not to be as concerned with the fate of planetary civilization. The nomads produce ships optimized for combat, sparing little room for creature comforts or reserve life support. We've got the Eldred. The Eldred were born of the Scarab disunity of 5470. Whom amongst us doesn't remember? Eldred society is comprised of strict matriarchies where dominant females control 5 to 10 subservient males. The Eldred spent many years in hiding from the Armada before joining the Alliance. They developed a technology that helps screen the Alliance city from the attention of the Armada. This Eldred field disruptor technology makes them an essential ally in the war against the Armada, but Eldred culture makes them wary of cooperation in defending their region of space. The Eldred have great mistrust for the Vorgans and believe that the Vorgans have somehow been in communication with the Armada. Can't trust the Vorgans. They love their enhanced warp engines, their bonus energy max, and their experience bonus for kills. Yet Scarabs, the Scarab departed from Earth with the Terrans, built in 200 million smaller siege ships. The Scarabs strictly regulated their brains through implants and formed colony mind groups. They all joined Blue Sky together. The Scarab respected Terran autonomy and did not impose unity upon them. That's right. They use Godot. The Scarab turned to her. This is a terrible joke. These are bad jokes. The Scarab hurried to join their distant cousins, only to find themselves trapped in the grip of the Armada. The Scarab Unity constructs technology that emphasizes speed over firepower in order that they may continue to observe the universe unmolested. Just not the word I would use, but it's fine. Radial shot, bonus speed, increased shot rate. We've got the Draken. Let's see if the Draken remain unmolested throughout space. Long ago, Earth government offered all violent political felons amnesty if they would volunteer to participate in the experimental Space Ark project. That's right. This is a game about January 6th and the ensuing fallout. After the felons took over the ships, and imprisoned their captors, they discovered that they had all been part of a new nomad project to create a deep space human. The Draken were able to flourish in a largely dead area of space by breeding a hierarchy of food-grade humans capable of, I thought it said fourth-grade humans. It's like, I don't think you're going to get a lot done with a bunch of fourth-graders, especially not in outer space. Converting solar radiation into nutrients through the process similar to photosynthesis. Many modern Draken citizens bear a greenish skin tone that is a reminder of their sordid history. Food-grade humans. Now we're talking. They got a forward trip for their trouble. They get a forward triple shot, bonus shots, and credit bonus for kills. We got Vorgans. Finally, we get to meet the Vorgans. The Vorgans were the first to arrive at what is now known as Allied Command. Vorgan people are genetically distinct from other Earthborn races in that they possess an auxiliary communication organ in their brain. This organ produces and receives a range of alpha wave modulations that constitute the Vorgan language. The Vorgans excel in science and have developed technology to manipulate energy fields in order to help repair damaged systems. They sound okay. Guided shots, damage resistance, Ultra Tech bonus. I love an Ultra Tech bonus. Isn't Ultra Tech the company in Killer Instinct? When you get an Ultra Tech bonus, that's just your annual percentage bonus for performance. Annual performance bonus. Armada is an extremely long game. Very cool. Armada is an extremely long game. Just so you know, you will want to use a VMU to record your character improvements and progress in your game. It tells you how to do that. It's an extremely long game, so you are not going to want to play through this in one sitting. Create a character. Here's two folks. I believe these are Vorgans. Your character is you in the game. You'll make some choices and give your character a name. When you play using your character will change and grow based on the experiences you have and the technology your character discovers. First, choose your starting race. Each race has an advantage based on their past history. Read the earlier section about the allied races to help you decide which race you would enjoy most. Then enter the name. So there you go. Enter the world of Armada. Playing the game, you start at the Allied city on the surface of the only civilized planet the Alliance controls. The first thing you do is go find the nomad named Phoenix and talk to him about getting some power tools, or power pods. Talk to him about getting some power tools. You have to go and you have to get a nail gun, and you have to get a battery-powered screwdriver. It's important stuff when you're fighting the Armada. Power pods. Power pods are just what they call Tide Pods in the future. This is a game about TikTok challenges and the damage that social media does to all of our brains. So, go do some stuff in Armada. Enjoy yourself. NVIDIA Studio Driver is available, my computer says. This game is long as hell. If you find debris in space, use your scanner to look for hidden items that may be in the wreckage. Each Armada ship has a unique behavior. Watch their actions and think about how to defeat them. If you encounter an enemy that's too strong, go elsewhere and build up your strength, and then try to fight the enemy again. You will never be penalized for being destroyed. That's good to know. If you play the game with 3 other people, you can use teamwork to defeat the game faster. I like there's a big thrust here of just like, you just have to finish this game as fast as possible. It's extremely long. Just do whatever you need to do to make it faster. Keep notes about what you've learned to solve the challenges. It is especially useful to note coordinations. My favorite coordinate, it's the first time someone's been referred to as my, so the author, presumably, is this one right there. Share your ideas and information with people on the internet. Careful. Share your ideas and information with people on the internet. Don't do it. I know it's 1999 when this manual is where this manual is coming from, but I'm going to go back in time and tell the person who wrote this, do not share ideas and information with people on the internet. It is only a bad thing. But you could go to metro3d.com and help other people, or just visit to talk to other players. All right. So there you go. The director was Mark Jordan. The game design was Mark Jordan and Roger Fong. The programming is Roger Fong and Titus Wilson. Game art is Sean Tsai, Mark Jordan, and Eagle from your local Jeep and Eagle dealership. Sound and music is Jeff Hoffman. The opening cinematic is all these folks right there. The voice talent is all of these folks right here. Congrats to them. No manual, so we don't know who the my is in there, but I think that they did a good gosh darn job. While we're here, I want to see if we can see anything. Nope. This is Moby Games. Tells us a little bit about it. What else has Mark Jordan done? Dark Angel, voice talent. Interesting. Credits. Design, Armada FX Racers. Puzzle Master, Armada, and Star Command Revolution. Lot of Armada in there. Okay, good to know. Well, that was Armada. Oops, I gave you a little hint of what's coming up next. Armada, take a drink of this Spindrift. I don't know. Armada's a hard one. It sounds like you could come up with something like, I'm about to take a sip of this, but there's nothing. There's nothing. If in the chat, if you have anything, please feel free. I will use with credit. So that's Armada. We're going to take a look at our next game now. Don't all cheer at once. We're going to take a look at our next game, which is a little game called Confidential Mission on the Sega Dreamcast. I was going to have this out earlier, but then I was afraid it was going to be too scary. If I pulled out my Interact Starfire Light Blaster for the Sega Dreamcast, I was afraid that it was going to cause a ruckus on the internet, and I would be summarily arrested and executed for threatening the viewers with the Interact Starfire Light Blaster. But now we're here. That's because this game is a light gun game for the Sega Dreamcast. One of Sega's many light gun games for the Sega Dreamcast, and one of my favorite reasons to have a Sega Dreamcast. So let's take a little bit of a look at it. This one doesn't have quite the same fan base as a House of the Dead or Virtua Cop, but it's pretty good. It's also no LA Machine Guns, which is a game that I wish we could somehow get on home consoles. I'm not sure how you make that work, but LA Machine Guns, look it up. It's great. Here we go. Created by Hitmaker. Hell yeah. Now we're going. Classic spy music. So cool. I don't want to point the gun at the screen. It's bad.
Confidential mission.
Confidential mission. This music rips. Mission 1. Okay, let's just watch a minute of the gameplay. This is good stuff. A group of international terrorists have seized control of the World Coalition's latest high-tech spy satellite.
Forces have traced the satellite to an archaeological museum. Your mission is to secretly infiltrate the museum and find out who is responsible for stealing the satellite. Good luck.
Good luck.
Looks like the work of Agares.
That's how they operate.
What does that mean? Oh, his mini disc.
Agent Gibson, prepare to die.
Whoa. Whoa. My goodness, things got heated fast.
You'll never get this disc.
I don't think that's true. This is very much like Virtua Cop. I kind of just want to play this now. Forget everything else. Yeah, this game is cool, dude. Flashback 64 says, I want this. It's pretty cool.
Let's get out of here.
No, we have to get the disc back.
There's just a random, like, security guard. All these guys are in on it. Oh, get those floppies. That's a cool roll. Watch out, there's a guy back there. Shoot the bones, shoot the skeletons. I wonder, they're using the mouse and keyboard, but if they had an Interact Starfire Light Blaster, they'd be doing much, much better. Anyway, that's what happens here. I'm curious, do we get to find out how this ends? Let's see, do we learn how, do they save the day? Let's just take a quick look. I want to see if they save the day. So they fight him. Whoa. Well, that is a heck of a museum. Got him.
Let's look at this disc.
It may give us some clues.
Man, storytelling, right? I mean, that's what video games are all about. So that's some good stuff. Confidential mission. Here they are. They're going to go take a look at the disc, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the manual that tells us a little bit about who they are. Who are these two fine people? This fine fella and this fine lady. Confidential mission for the Sega Dreamcast. Let's find out a little bit about it. Thank you for purchasing Confidential Mission. Please note that this software is designed only for use with the Dreamcast console. Please be sure to read this instruction manual thoroughly before you start playing. Obviously. Of course we will. Here we are on a Wednesday. We absolutely will. Prologue. It is the end of the 20th century, so this is a game about the future. The Cold War has been over for years, yet the ambition of those who wish to rule the world through power and autocracy does not disappear. Sometimes video game manuals are speak the truth. CMF, Confidential Mission Force, is a secret force to prevent terrorism and wars between nations and to keep world peace and order. Here's Howard Gibson. Howard Gibson's over here, hanging out. Cool, calm, and always dressed in a suit without wrinkles, he is a man who accomplishes his missions with style. Surprisingly, he is also a man of humor, because in times of imminent danger, he always has time for a joke. Howard Gibson is agent number 6. His nationality is unknown. He's 6 feet tall with brown hair and brown eyes. Thank you. Good to meet you, Howard. Agent Gibson. Now we've got Jean Clifford. She's agent number 15, it says here. She is also Nationality unknown. Ruby Soho. Her height is 5'6". She has blonde hair and blue eyes. What the heck? Hold on. What does this mean? I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in on something. I'm going to need everyone's eyes and thoughts on this. How do I... The last trump for the peace of the world. I don't know what that means. I don't like it, I guess is what I'll say. I don't like it. How did they know? How did they know, I guess is my question. The last trump. Yikes. With the figure, speaking of yikes, with the figure of a supermodel, she is truly a cool beauty. Thank you, Jean Clifford. With the figure of a supermodel, she is truly a cool beauty. Of course, she is also an agent with super A rank in other fields. I feel like that part is more important than her being a cool beauty. Recently, she's had romantic thoughts about Howard, but she also feels that her relationship with him won't advance beyond being good partners. Not with that attitude, Jean. I think it's time to risk it all for Howard. The world again is in crisis. Someone has seized control of the World Coalition's spy satellite. There's no doubt that a huge conspiracy is in progress. The mission has been assigned to CMF's top 2 agents. For them, this will be the biggest and last confidential mission of the 20th century. I forgot the music. The music's back again. I also hope so too. I hope Flashback 64 that they can advance in their relationships. So here you go. A lot of buttons that aren't used. Never touch the analog thumb pad or the triggers while turning the Dreamcast on. Doing so may disrupt controller initialization procedure and result in malfunction. Never do it. Don't you fucking dare. Starting the game. It's a 1 to 2 player game. That's fantastic. You can always put in the jump pack. There we go. Put in the jump pack and feel that rumble, just as Gene wants with Howard. Justice shot. Shoot an enemy's hand to knock off his weapon and make him lose the will to fight. You'll be awarded bonus points for a justice shot. Instead of just shooting at the enemies, true agents should accomplish their missions in style. I like they're going to lose the will to fight. There's combo shots. True agents ought to totally punish those who threaten the world peace. This is the opposite of a justice shot. I'm going to be honest. This is where you just shoot someone repeatedly over and over, Bonnie and Clyde style, and they're just getting riddled with bullets. There's the pause menu, which we love. True agents love to pause the game and take a little break every so often so that they can keep their eyes from getting too dry, maybe get some water. Mission, a conversion of the arcade version. Investigating the mysterious organization which seized control of the spy satellite, Howard and Gene face a conspiracy that threatens the world peace. Defeat each stage's boss to clear the stage. There are 3 stages in all. You will lose a life mark if you do not shoot down a grenade or missile before it hits you. That's how it works. Luckily, just one life mark. You will also lose 1 life mark if you do not shoot an enemy with a knife before he slices you. And if you shoot a civilian, you'll also lose 50,000 points from your score total. It's not good. Operation branching. You get some quick time events. You only have 1 shot. Very good. Very good. Very good. Cool. Missions, clearing the stages. Let's just see what happens here. We got some items. I don't really know what else is going on in this manual. The real prize was Armada. But I'm enjoying this story so far. You can pick up various items that appear on screen by shooting them. Picking up items has various effects. You've got the CMF marks, gaining 3 marks. Body armor nullifies 1 enemy attack and disappears after taking 1 attack. The attaché case gives you 3 magnetic discs, which is pretty good. And the magnetic discs, of course, appear when the attaché case is shot. That's good to know. So let's read through the 3 missions. The spy satellite has been seized, mission 1. CMF forces have traced the satellite to an archaeological museum. Infiltrate the museum and investigate who is responsible for stealing the satellite. It's that dumpy little guy that we met him in the gameplay. So he's the one who did it, and you shoot him to death to solve the problem. So just spoiler alert. I think that's how most of this gets done. Mission 2, you have found who is responsible for stealing the satellite. Now they've kidnapped Irina, the satellite programmer, and forced her to reprogram the satellite. Rescue Arena from the train where she is held captive. I do like a good train level. A good train level or an airplane level is very cool. With the help of Arena, you have located the terrorists' headquarters. The intelligence has informed you that the satellite control system is being transported to a submarine. Break into their headquarters and retrieve the satellite control system. We wish you good luck. Good luck. Again, it just says the last trump for the peace of the world. When this is all over, we should somehow remove that word from all of everything. Just remove salt the earth where that word stands. I don't care that it means something else, that it's not just salt the earth. Let's do it. Training results screen. You got all sorts of cool stuff here. Controls, gun adjustment, special modes, top agents. Here we go. We got some characters. Here's a summary of information regarding the members of the enemy terrorist organization as well as the civilian involved in the case. Use this as a reference. We wish you good luck with your missions. I like the idea of playing confidential mission and just like in the midst of it pausing and going through the character, the CMF top secret file section of the manual. Who am I shooting? What am I working with here? These are the members of the terrorist organization. With their willingness to sacrifice their lives towards achieving their ultimate goal, they are a formidable force to reckon with. We've got Irina Mikhailova. She is one of the programmers of the spy satellite, which has been seized. Currently, she has been kidnapped and is being forced to reprogram the satellite control system. Although still young, she is an elite scientist who's working at the core of the satellite project. You must hurry and rescue her. And we got this guy who doesn't have a name. None of these guys seem to have names, which is great. This guy looks cool and normal. He is the fake director of the museum, which has been pinned as the origin of the organization that is trying to take over the military satellite. He's a shabby fat man who's not nice to say. Come on. There's other things we can criticize him for. But it does say here, he's a shabby fat man who's controlling secret weapons from the inside of the museum. Shabby. He didn't look shabby. He looks kind of like he looks like he's like a jerk. We don't know if he was shabby. He had a nice suit. This guy right over here, who appears to have worms on his face, I'm not really sure. He is the general who commands all the military forces in this secret organization. A man of few words, he is known for his persistent attacks. He has yet to lose his ability to operate tanks. Is that something that happens? He's usually found on the front. I presume like operating a tank is like riding a bike. Like you just sort of, you do it once. He usually is found on the front lines of a battle in his favorite tank. And then you got this guy over here who's got both an eye patch and a scorpion brooch. He is the head of the secret organization. His precise data is still unknown, but intelligence believes he's involved in the recent buildup of military arms around the world. With his believed military ability combined with his political ties, he will be a formidable enemy. We wish you good luck. They say that about 9 or 10 times throughout this manual. So here you go. That's it. We don't know who any of those people are. 23 pages in, though, we are starting to learn a little bit about them. I think we've learned something. The localization producer is named Howard Gibson. A little bit interesting. I'm sure this is a coincidence. It appears that the main guy, Howard Gibson, might be based on localization producer Howard Gibson. And I think that's great. I think that's great, actually, because you know what? Loc is cool. They do amazing things. Without localization, we would have never gotten these games over here. So let's go. Let's lean in. I actually think it should have just been like his name straight up in there. I think that would be cool. So thank you to Howard Gibson for helping to localize this game. I really enjoy it. The localization manager is Osamu Shibamiya. Congratulations and thank you. And the VP of localization was Jin Shimazaki. So there we go. We've got Brent Fillmore as the lead tester and assistant lead testers. Here, these are the ones in the U.S. version. Are Dave Talag and Antonio Echo with other testers. August Guadamuz, Alex Goldberg, Curtis Chu, Demetrius Griffin, Daniel Chang, Ed Brady, Joe Amper, Joe Mora, Kenny Quick Robinson, Mike Schmidt, Nestor Protazio, Paul Proner, Tor Unsworth, Gabrielle Brown, Steve Peck, Benji Galvez, and Robert Hernandez. Marketing was done by John Golden, with Rich Briggs as the product manager and associate product manager Cord Smith. Creative services, Bob Schonefish. Package design, Miles Studing. And project coordinator, Ariane Pitts. Now, the manual production from Sega of Japan, I think, localized here, but we can thank Masaru Kobayashi for writing this, to Makoto Nishino for editing, translating, and DTP, down to published. I presume that's what that means. Designer Satoru Ishigami and supervisor Yoshihiro Sakuta. So thank you so much, and special thanks, of course, to all of these folks right down here. The one and only Peter Moore, and folks who helped make this game possible. I really want to play Outrigger, actually. So, exclusive to Sega Dreamcast. Got the Sega Dreamcast. Turns out I don't want to be. I don't want to make any harsh statements, but I think the Sega Dreamcast, pretty good video game system. Something that I believe for myself. That's my truth. The Spindrift truth of the week is that the Sega Dreamcast, pretty good, and I like it. So, because I have a hard stop, I'm gonna go. But Flashback 64 Pod, if anybody else was watching, thank you for popping in, and I appreciate the chats, I appreciate the hangs, and I'm gonna see y'all some other time. I mean, next week. I actually have a special guest coming next week, so I'm going to start doing that. I have a special guest coming next week who's kind enough to join me for the show. Somebody who has done some very cool stuff with video game manuals, and I'm excited to do that. So have a good one. Enjoy. And let's stop the terrorists. Seems problematic. I'm sorry. I don't like, violence is not the answer. I don't know. Just stop them. Stop the guy at the archaeology museum, I guess. I don't really know. Listen, video games have taught us a lot of really bad things about how to deal with disagreements. So, I don't know. You know what you should go do if you want to play a gun game that's not violent? I will always stand by the Point Blank series. So go play some Point Blank on your PlayStation or PlayStation 2. That's what I say. So go ahead. Have fun. The Spindrift anti-violence message of the week. This bit has no legs, but I'm just going to keep on going. There's no stopping now. Okay, anyway, bye.